Hey, my name is Jared Woodham, and today we'll be talking about stress and anxiety. The purpose of this is to demonstrate the role of stress in performance of psychomotor skills. The experiment. Two groups, one group with stressors involved and the other without. Each group will be given 15 trials to execute the given task. The task we'll be doing today is a basketball free throw. There'll be two different guys. Each of them are going to get 15 trials. But the second guy, through trials 9 through 12, will have a stressor thrown into him. And that stressor is that he has to do a burpee and a sprint for each free throw he misses from 9 through 12. And for those of you who don't know, a burpee is when you jump up in the air and immediately go down to the ground and land on your hands in almost a push-up position. Hit your chest on the ground and then throw yourself back up in the air and then jump up in the air. Okay, so this is our first guy. He is the control group. He will not have any stress involved, and we'll show you his 15 trials right here. Now, as you can see, this is going to take maybe 2 minutes, give or take a little bit. But we'll give the ball back to him pretty quick. Keep shooting. And like we said, we want to test the stress of the psychomotor skills. The stress involved here would be, some sort of crowd noise or a consequence or a goal at the end of the road. But like we said, this guy doesn't have any stress to worry about in his performance here. So he's just pulling 15 shots, no worries, just going through it like there's no problem. And I think he's got maybe one more. And yep, that's it. Okay, and this is going to be our stressor group. So what we'll do here, we'll go ahead and start the video and let him start taking his shots. Initially, he did not have any stress involved. We let him start shooting. He has 15 trials as well. And then when we got to the 8th trial, as he was shooting his 8th trial, I said, okay, now you got a stressor involved. If you miss, you have to do a burpee and a sprint. And as he'll be nearing his 9th trial momentarily, you'll see that as soon as he heard that, his stressors went up and his performance went down. I believe that was his 9th shot. That's his 10th shot. That's his 11th shot. Just trying to make something go at that point. And that's his 12th shot, which he almost also missed. And then I told him his stressors are gone. That doesn't apply anymore. And then what does he do? He turns around and makes his next shot. And then misses another one. And comes back right here at the end, makes the last one. Okay, so as you saw, he missed the 4 most important shots out of that whole situation. Alright, now that we've shown you the videos, let you see what they did, we'll show you the score sheet we had to go off of here. You can see the control subject 1 was the student without the stressors involved. Missed his first one, hit, miss, hit, miss. He was a little bit streaky, but he didn't have a stressor. He was pretty consistent. Ended up hitting 8 shots. As you can see there, subject 1, 8 made. Okay, well, stressor subject 1, miss, hit, miss. And he gets in a little groove, hit, and then I told him about the stressor involved, and then he missed 4 straight, like we said. And then after it was over with, he hit 2 out of 3. But the 4 that counted, he did not make. As you can see, subject 2, 6 made total, 9 through 12 stressor, all missed. Okay, Okay, now that we've seen that, let's take a look at a graph comparing the two. Okay, and here we have the graph showing their performance. If they got a 1, that means they hit the target. If they got a 0, it means they did not hit the target. You see the blue is the stress group, and the red is the non-stress group. The blue and the red right there in the first trial were the same through the first 4 shots. That's why you can only see the blue, because they were identical. Well, as the pattern goes along, you can see the stress group was very consistent in his shots. I mean, he was inconsistent overall, but he went in a pattern. 3 down, 3 high, then you got the stressor, 4 down, and then 1, 1, 1. Well, the non-stress guy was just, he was, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 1, 1, 1. He was very inconsistent, but it also made sort of a pattern. But the point here is that he was not stressed. He ended up making more shots. The stressor, as we've said twice already, 2 or 3 times actually, as soon as that stress was put into his mind, he missed every single shot that he had to make. And then after the stress was taken away, he hit 2 out of 3 shots. So, I've said that to say this. I think the stress added affected the performance of the athlete. As we've said multiple times, he missed his 4 shots as that stress hit. Now, could it be coincidence? Yes, but the fact that he happened to miss 4 straight when that stressor happened leads me to believe that it upped the ante for him. It hurt his performance. Why did I choose this stressor? Well, sports are a very popular thing in our society today, and there are many stressors that go along with the athletes in these sports. Whether it be, the aspirations of a championship, if you're in a championship game and you're trying to reach that championship, or if the crowd's after you, you're about to hit a game-winning, you've got the chance to hit a game-winning shot, something of that matter, I think that relates to a lot of us these days. So that's why I chose this, to show somewhat of the stressors in the sports world, and also in like a practice. In a practice, if you don't do something right, a lot of coaches will punish their players somewhat to get them to work harder and to show improvement in their game, hopefully. Is stress good or bad for athletes? Well, personally, I think it's good and bad, depending on who the athlete is and how much stress is put on the athlete. And for this, I'm going to talk about the inverted U. The inverted U is basically a graph talking about stress. And it states that the lower the amount of stress, the more bored the athlete's going to be. The higher, the more stressed they're going to be. So there has to be a perfect amount of stress for the athlete to perform well. I agree with this, but I do think that the inverted U really varies depending on who the athlete is. Some athletes are able to handle pressure better than others. So if you have too much stress, I do think that it can be a bad thing, because I do think it can negatively affect your performance, but I think it can also push you to do great things and to work even harder. In conclusion, we're going to reflect on what we saw in the video. The stressor affected the athlete whenever he was shooting his free throws. He realized that he had a stressor, missed his shots, it negatively affected him. And I do think that stress can be a good thing for athletes, but too much stress can harm the athlete. Thank you all for watching. I've been Jared. This has been about stressors. Thank you.